Look at these maker bees. We're inside the hive of the maker movement in Vancouver. It's a little DIY OMG today on Go. Coming up, Mission Soapbox Racers.
He's just running down the hill and going super fast.
A Pemberton barn raising. And highlights from the 4th annual Mini Maker Faire. What happens when you take this out in public?
People follow me around and start dancing.
Welcome to Go Vancouver, only on Chat TV. I'm Johanna Ward inside the Peony Forum for the 4th annual Mini Maker Faire. They describe it as part science fair, part county fair, part something entirely different. If you have a curious mind, this is the place to be. You get to ask questions like, what is it? How does it work? And why did you decide to make that?
A song from the Kootenai River.
The shopping cart, solar-powered rave bicycle. Did I get all the right words in there?
Yeah, that's right.
What happens when you take this out in public?
People follow me around and start dancing.
Well, that seems like a good reason to make anything.
It is a very good reason.
I gotta tell you though, the helmet's a little bit heavy.
You told me that.
I'm going to keep telling you that. I'm worried about you cycling with this helmet on.
That one there's a lot heavier.
Mark with Northwest Fan Fest, representing the props department, and props indeed. And so a lot of stuff you're saying you make all the paper mache as well.
Yeah, like 95% of my stuff is paper mache, mostly because it's so cheap. I can afford, I pay for the glue.
Well, this is Martin of Times Past Entertainment, and who's this?
This is Mutt, short for Mechanical Universal Tracker.
I love spoons for ears, interesting use for a tail here.
Yeah, Mutt was actually built out of a lot of found objects about 4 years ago. He's actually probably more popular than our own characters are, so we've sort of labeled ourselves the Mutt Show.
Awesome. Heather from the Vancouver Modern Quilters Guild. I assume the modern is an important part of that name?
It is an important part of that name. There's a Vancouver Quilters Guild that is a more traditional quilters guild. We embrace the modern quilting movement, which is less structured and more about artistic expression, I would say, than traditional quilting. How do you like my chapeau?
Very nice, very colorful. Look at those sparkles.
Where do you think this falls into the maker movement?
Just the art of making. Like the pleasure, you can just create and nobody's gonna say, oh, that doesn't look good. No rules with paper hats.
Everybody's gonna say, wow, I love your hat.
That's right.
You're gonna say. So many cool high-tech and low-tech things here at the 4th annual Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. Wondering what the Orbit Camera 2 does behind me? We'll talk with those folks a little bit later on today's Go. The maker movement, it seems like a new thing, but of course making things isn't new at all. In 1956, the Mission Soapbox Derby attracted 20,000 spectators. Most of the racers build their own boxcars. Fast forward to 2014, and a whole new generation is racing on the hills.
I think he's just running down the hill and going super fast. I just feel like, ooh, I like this.
Quinn is trying out his brand new soapbox racer for the first time as he prepares to compete in the Mission Soapbox Derby. He built it with a little help from his dad and a friend.
This here is the brake. You can see that the brake actually works.
Right now we've tried it down this little hill here and maybe he's getting 15 or maybe 20 kilometers an hour, but it'll be interesting to see what he feels like when he's going about 50 kilometers an hour when they get on the big hill.
This mission tradition has been resurrected in recent years as they try to rebuild an event that started in 1946 and was attracting 20,000 people in the mid-50s.
It's just great watching families with their kids actively getting involved either in building a soapbox derby car or actually just sort of coming out and using one of the association's cars.
Right now, the association is looking for more volunteers and more racers. Alan and Quinn were happy to take on the challenge this year, starting the 40-hour building process with their spare time back in April.
Even on the internet, there's not like a precise plan. There's a lot of sort of ideas and direction about how to do things like the brakes, but it's not as precise as you'd want, especially with the first time you build it. So we put things on, we took them off, we redesigned it. So it's a lot of work when you're building it. It's kind of like that as you're designing as you go.
I made some designs, drawings. First it had 2 seats, then it had 1. Originally it looks kind of like a box, but then my dad's like, oh no, we gotta have it aerodynamic.
By race time, this car will be green and called the Alligator. And they're not planning on building a new car for next year, although they have discussed the possibility of getting one big enough for Alan so their team can enter the adult class as well.
It's a really great organization they have in here in Mission. And even when I was talking to my mom and dad about the cart, I built part of it at their place. They were saying that they remember when there was a race out here in the 40s that, you know, it was a really big event back then, and it's kind of great that they've brought it back.
Check missionsoapbox.com for race dates and times, as well as any potential changes due to the weather. In Mission, I'm Paul McClellan for Go Vancouver.
To find out about all of the Mission Soapbox Derby events, you can go to their website. You're watching Go Vancouver, and today's show is all about people who love to get in the game, whether that means compete, create, or connect.
Coming up, the Now Roller Girls, a Pemberton barn raising, and a psychedelic 3D camera. You're watching Go.
Hairstyling for Johanna Ward and the Go Vancouver reporters is provided by Aveda Institute, found online at avedainstitute.ca.
It keeps you awake at night, and it causes stress. Debt. No one else sees it, but it's always there, weighing you down.
Get debt off your back. The Credit Counseling Society is a non-profit service that's helped thousands of Canadians solve their debt problems. It's confidential, it's free, and it works. Call the Credit Counseling Society. All you've got to lose is your debt.
Welcome back to Go with the Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. This is a place for people who like to work with their hands, work with their minds, and work with each other. And we've got all that and then some with our next story from the sea to sky, a construction project like no other, where more than 100 volunteers rallied together for an official barn raising in Pemberton.
Right from the very beginning, this project has been nothing but anticipation and excitement.
What we've got is going to be something that's going to outlive me, that's for sure. But it's going to be something the town can be proud of. I think it'll bring economy to the community, and it's certainly going to be something that daily we'll be able to see and appreciate.
After years of planning and fundraising, Pemberton's downtown finally has a new addition. The community barn will act as a gateway into the village and provide a much-needed home for farmers markets and festivals. The construction of the building was an event in itself, drawing more than 50 members of the Timber Framers Guild from across North America, all who volunteered their time.
The enjoyment that we get out of it is the educational experience. We're all learning a whole pile of stuff, even those of us that have been around it a long time. And there's also a real huge element of camaraderie.
Timber framers spent several days fabricating pieces on the ground, working with wood from Douglas fir trees from lower BC. The larger logs came from just up the valley in Mount Currie. Both the resources and design match perfectly with the area's rich logging and agricultural roots.
This is contemporary heavy timber construction. So there is some wood-to-wood joinery, which is very old-fashioned and very traditional. But also buried in this structure is a whole lot of steel and a whole lot of modern specialty wood structural screws. And it's sitting on a foundation that's very, very stout.
This may appear as a modern-day construction site, but in reality, the process is before our time.
totally unique. It's being put together by 60 volunteers from out of town and 100 people from the community helping do it. It's an unheard of way of building things these days.
Community members and businesses spent hundreds of hours housing and feeding crew members, and the volunteers, some drove from as far as Virginia simply to be part of this remarkable community build.
It's got hundreds and hundreds of parts. It's just got a symphony of its own. We sometimes say these are three-dimensional puzzles.
A large donation from the Whistler Blackcomb Foundation got this project off the ground, but there's still more fundraising to be done. Not a problem for people in this village. You can't put a price on community.
Incredible. It's hard to pick words for it. What it's going to do for our community and the excitement that it's brought to the town has just been incredible.
From the new community barn in Pemberton, I'm Heather Butts for Shaw TV.
The new barn will host the Pemberton Farmers Market every Wednesday from 4 to 7 in the summer months. Heather says it's located in the downtown core and you can't miss it. And these are the stories that I love to see on Go, and the reason that I love to do this show, showcasing community projects like barn raisings and maker movements and the beautiful areas that we call home. The Lower Lonsdale of North Vancouver area, it's always been the heart and soul of the North Shore, with the bustling market, the historic shipyards, the beautiful mountains, and now a new residential development.
Lower Lonsdale, a historic waterfront community in beautiful North Vancouver. 100 years ago, huge shipyards thrived at the foot of Lonsdale, employing tens of thousands of blue-collar workers. Today, it's attracting a different demographic: young families, professionals, and downsizers, thanks to an abundance of restaurants, shops, and amenities as part of the neighborhood's long-term redevelopment plan.
So over the course of the last 20 years, there's been quite a plethora of buildings that have been built down in this Lower Lonsdale area. There's new retail, there's new commercial, the waterfront's all been revitalized, so it's dramatically changed over those 20 years.
At the heart of the change are new multifamily residences like this. Wallace and McDowell, or W&M, a low-rise condominium in the heart of Lower Lonsdale.
McDowell Block was built in 1904 and housed the McDowell drugstore from 1904 to 1973. It was two generations of the McDowell family. We are restoring that building to its sort of former glory, as well as using that inspiration to shape the architecture of the building as it goes up the street.
The interiors of these 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom homes are contemporary, but integrate design elements that reflect Lonsdale's history.
This is the shipyard scheme here, so it has gloss white cabinets, and then we offer the concrete tile feature wall in this particular unit to create that sort of more shipyardy, gritty feel.
Along with the shipyard theme comes textural plank flooring, stainless steel appliances, and polished quartz for the counters and kitchen island.
It's a high quality cedar stone quartz, very scratch resistant, easy to clean, doesn't stain.
The living rooms offer stunning city and water views, and every suite features 9.5-foot tall ceilings, creating a lofty look throughout the living areas.
The ceiling's uncluttered, so it creates a feel that very much ties in with the living area of the unit, not sort of separated from individual spaces.
But one of the best features of W&M can't be seen at all.
We have a solid 6-inch concrete structural wall between all of the units, so it's very, very soundproof, as well as more seismically secure than typical concrete and steel stud construction.
And with gorgeous rooftop decks to enjoy the 360-degree views the North Shore has to offer, Wallace and McDowell delivers a taste of the quintessential West Coast lifestyle.
All these outdoor amenities, the mountain biking, the skiing and the hiking and everything else. So I think from a younger demographic, I think it's a wonderful spot to reside.
I'm Tim Chung in Lower Lonsdale for Go Vancouver.
If you'd like to take more tours with Tim of new residential developments around BC, from the Sea to Sky, the Fraser Valley, and Metro Vancouver, check out the Welcome Home playlist on our YouTube channel. That's Go Vancouver on Shaw TV.
Coming up, the wow of the now Roller Girls and the why of the Orbit Camera 2. You're watching Go.
Albert Einstein came up with the theory of relativity and won the Nobel Prize. He was a human being like you. He quit school, couldn't drive a car, didn't like haircuts, loved slippers. Okay, maybe he wasn't exactly like you, but we think everyone has an Einstein idea inside, one that could change the world for the better. Want to share your idea and win prizes? Enter at thenexteinstein.com.
Welcome back to Go Vancouver at the 4th Annual Vancouver Mini Maker Faire. Hanging with Sammy Cooper and the Orbit Camera 2. Pretty shiny stuff here.
The Orbit Camera 2 is a psychedelic photo booth, an interactive psychedelic photo booth where people can pop in, have their faces scanned in 3D, and they'll show up on our giant orbit wall.
So the question today, a lot of times is, what is it? How does it work? You've covered that. Then why did you decide to make it?
I just enjoy seeing people enjoy it. When kids show up, they see the camera, they look over, they see their faces in the screen, and their faces just light up. That makes it worth it.
And literally light up with Christmas lights in here, and what else did you say it's made of? Hula?
Christmas lights and hula hoops, as well as a lot of high tech.
All kinds of cool subcultures here at the Maker Faire, but this isn't the only place. We've got one of the fastest growing ones on today's Fraser Valley Auto Mall's Go Sports. Are you into roller derby?
Absolutely.
Fraser Valley Auto Mall's Go Sports is brought to you by Fraser Valley Auto Mall, found online at fvautomall.com.
They're rough, they're tough, and they haven't had enough. They're the NWO Roller Girls, and they aren't afraid of anything. But what does NWO stand for?
It's whatever people want it to stand for.
And that's the kind of laid-back, carefree attitude this team strives for.
Our success on the track and off the track with a very well-run league, and it's very structured, and it doesn't leave room for a lot of like drama or any of that kind of stuff, and we're here to skate. It's skate or die, like that's it. We're here to bout, we're here to play, and everything else can just like stay at the door, right?
The Roller Girls have only been around for 3 years, but already they're making waves in the fast-growing world of roller derby. Placing 32nd in over 120 different teams across the country, the girls are focused on climbing up the ranking ladder.
We're looking to build a reputation and grow the sport and grow the league in this town and really make a name for NWO. So we just want to be competitive this year, so that would be what we're looking to do.
They may look mean, but deep down they're just a group of friends who have the utmost respect for one another.
Perfect. It is a sisterhood. It really, it's that bonding. It's also just challenging yourself in ways that you didn't think you, like, if you told me 5 years ago I'd be doing this, 5 years ago I'd be like, you're nuts. This is crazy. But just through the encouragement of my team members and my kids who also play derby, I've just been challenging myself to try to do things that I would have been terrified of even thinking about doing before.
It's different than guy sports. I couldn't coach men. I like coaching the women because I like the team base, and women's brains work in that way, it seems. It's not ego. It's not, I'm going to win this game for everybody. I'm going to watch me. It's support.
With bouts happening all summer, the team will be traveling across the province, competing against multiple cities.
It's fulfilling, and how many things in life like really fulfill anymore? First time in my life I get fulfillment out of something, and it's pretty powerful and it's pretty rad, right? And I just want to pass that on to other people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got unlimited energy, and I just want to, like, give that back, and like how good it makes me feel and how much it's brought to me. I just want to share that with other people and show them, like, man, if you just do this, change your life, right?
Fraser Valley Auto Mall's Go Sports is brought to you by Fraser Valley Auto Mall, found online at fvautomall.com.
Wednesday in the Shaw TV studios, Dunya and Tiffany liking the patterns. Extra props though for the cats. Yeah?
I had to wear my cat dress.
Doing a little kitteny?
Yes, I love it.
I like it. Very fun. How do you feel about robots?
Robot?
I love
Cat robots?
Oh, cat robot we do.
Cat robot?
That makes
Cat
me think of Unikitty, which has nothing to
Oh
do
my
with it, but
goodness.
like from the Lego show. Did you like the Titanoboa from today's show?
That's
Did you see
really
that?
cool how it
Yeah,
moves.
Dan Loxton liked it too. Here's a photo. And then his friend Peter Cook said it made him think of Gypsy. Now we had to look up Gypsy. Look at this. He said
I've never seen that.
That's a robot character from a 1980s TV show, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Wow, good job on finding that.
That looks pretty good for the 80s construction.
I just think it's cool that they look so similar. One of the things I really like about social media, that interaction, of course, a place for people to tell us about cool events. So many things happening this weekend. Here's two, a kids cooking class, an Italian one that's happening Friday, and then both Saturday and Sunday there's a local choir, and you can get all the information about them bursting out of the box on Twitter. What are you doing this weekend?
Oh, I think I might finally head out to the Richmond Nightmaker. First time of the season. I usually go a couple times a year, but as long as it's not raining.
Yeah,
I
this
should
is
head
the
out there.
weekend that feels like the kickoff to summer.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Father's Day is on Sunday. I've got, you know,
nice.
big plans because it's my husband's second Father's Day and
Aw,
it's his
nice.
dad's birthday as well. So
Wow. Oh, you must
Lots of
have
dad
a big.
stuff to go.
I feel like it's barbecue time for that.
It is,
yes?
definitely,
Rain
yeah.
or shine. I have all kinds of plans this weekend. This is when the things just start rolling. Taste of Bowen is happening on Saturday. Sunday, it's car-free day on the drive, one of the best events of the year. And then I'm doing Bard on the Beach on Sunday night, Midsummer's Night's Dream.
Oh, love it.
Couple
So
extra
this is a
S's in there.
weekend. This is like a break, downtime. You're
This is
doing
my
all
downtime.
these things?
Yeah, this is me. Like, I know we're not taking cameras this. We should. I'll just tote. Maybe I'll GoPro. Do you want
Tweet
me to
some
take-
pictures.
Yeah. And of course tomorrow on the show, really big special that we've been building up to.
Yes, we've been doing the countdown, 5 weeks for families with the Ronald McDonald House. So we do have our 2-hour special tomorrow, and of course it's on Go as well.
I think it's critically important, you know. Families that have had the scariest thing possible, you know, a child is seriously ill, they need support, a place to stay, and at a Ronald McDonald House they're able to be in that environment with other families in a similar situation and know that they have a place that's safe and secure and does feel like home for their whole family, not just the child that's ill.
So of course there's going to be lots of family stories, some that have we've been airing leading up to, and then some new ones as well.
And we're going to be touring the brand new house, so that's very exciting.
Yes.
Some cool things. I can't wait to see that Lego room, so that's going to be really fun.
Lego room.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
awesome.
And Dunia, what do you have coming up?
Well, as you know, we do Go Watch where we visit different sets, TV shows, and this time we're going to a show called Package Deal. It's their second season, and they're taping in Vancouver in front of a live audience. And here's a clip from talking to one of the comedians on the show.
Some of the bloopers we do here, though, are probably only appropriate for the guys on the Deadliest Catch or Ice Lake Truckers, because we use some pretty blue words, some that aren't even invented yet. Have you ever heard Kirkoka? That's a new swear word.
Kirkoka.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using that.
you.
What a wonderful laugh. It's like a loon at sunset.
So as you see, it's a pretty fun show. Tiffany was with me on the shoot. We had a ton of fun, and you're going to see that next week.
Is Kirkoka dirty if we start saying it, or is it okay?
Words are only dirty if you give them that designation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Also, a big thing that's happening around town also feels like summer. Under the big top down at Concord Pacific, Cirque du Soleil this year, Totem, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah,
I agree with you,
amazing,
Joe.
hey?
I went with my mom. I took her for her birthday, and it was an incredible show.
Oh, just stunning. And the many that I've seen over the years, my favorite, this one deals with evolution. There's also a bunch of First Nations stuff in it, and some crazy hoop dancing that we didn't get to see there, but I was just blown away. And did your mom like it?
Oh my gosh, she was blown. We were blown away. There's just so many things going on, so many. And you think about First Nations in a different sort of way, and evolution in a different way from seeing that.
Very cool. So many things happening around town as well. Here's a look at your Go Local listings. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. It starts on Wednesday. Yay!
The Easter Seals 24-hour relay is an annual community-based fundraiser that challenges groups of people to walk or run relay style for 24 hours in support of children with disabilities in BC. Back again, it's the Rio Tinto Alcan Dragon Boat Festival with free admission, entertainment on the World Beats stage, food, children's activities, art installations, and of course, dragon boating. Bard on the Beach Shakespeare Festival celebrates its 25th anniversary with the return of what we just mentioned, Shakespeare's magical comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream.
If if you have events you'd like us to help promote, you're welcome to post them directly to our Facebook page. That's Go Vancouver TV Show. Now that's it for our show from the 4th Annual Mini Maker Faire here at the PNE Forum in Vancouver. You can watch for next year's fair happening in June of 2015. And in the meantime, if you want to live out all your DIY desires, check out their website to find out how you can get involved in the maker movement here in our community. I'm Johanna. Thanks for watching.